set out there the tests for the common law offence of assault. Do you think that parents who smack their children show an evil intent?
I think that so the evil intent's been interpreted by the courts to be an intention to cause physical injury and fear of injury, and so that's how it's interpreted, and so. Do
you think that's the intention of parents when they smack their children?
That would be the way which the criminal law would approach it. So if that isn't the intention, then it wouldn't be a matter for the criminal law. Is what we're saying. Is so the criminal law is only concerned with this. So that's the only.
They have to want to. They have to want to injure their child.
Their intent
or cause them an injury.
So their intention needs to be that, and it needs to be set in the context of physical punishment as well. And so something that's not for the purpose of punishment, so that kind of grabbing and kind of restraining, wouldn't concern the criminal law. Is what we're saying. What we know is that there's an obligation to provide education and guidance, and all of the evidence shows that kind of positive parenting is much more effective.
And do you sorry?
For a second, Triona was wanting to come in.
This just comes down to definitions, and the reason we use definitions is, as Bruce said, to differentiate between what is a punitive action, so an assault or a physical punishment, and what is a protective action. So it's the same in the definition used by the UN Committee on the Rights of the Child, where physical or corporal punishment is defined as a physical action that has the intent to cause some level of pain or discomfort, however light. So it's not that the parent is being malicious and that their motivation for that is negative. It's just that the actual action that they're taking has that intent.
I fully accept that definitions are very important, but we have to recognise that in Scotland, the assault is a common law offence, and it's about how the courts in Scotland interpret that and interpret the intention. And I just wonder whether, if you were looking at the ordinary or the reasonable person, whether or not they would think that parents set out with an intention to cause injury to their child. And it's a question of interpretation. Do you think that would you be confident that the court would see that action as intending to cause an injury?
I think the courts are very good in interpreting this, and I mean we have the law of assault in relation to adults at the moment, and then these things generally don't get to court. I would think it would be. I can't really foresee a matter ending up in courts for the type of small physical intervention that you're talking about. This wouldn't get to the courts. What this is about is setting a very clear standard that any form of physical violence for the purpose of punishment, using pain as a tool of punishment, is wrong. But for the criminal law to get engaged with it, the standard would be in relation to assault. And that would require this intention.
Do you recognise that the vagaries of the law and definitions could create a grey area, if not more carefully defined? That's
certainly not the experience anywhere else, and it's not the experience at the moment within Scotland. I think in terms of we've got a long history of the police and the Procurator Fiscal and the courts being able to interpret our laws. This isn't a new type of offence. This is something that the courts are already very aware of.